Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this new well, it's not really a new series, continuation of a series really. This is, if any of you are unfamiliar with the concept, a succession game, where basically the campaign starts with one player, they play through the lifetime of just one character, and then when that character dies, it's passed on to the next person. So this whole series started out with Midgeman, who was playing as King Midgeman the Explorer. He died at the tender age of 71, and has then handed it over to me, his son, King Mordred the Bottomless. It's because I'm drunk, okay? Nord Mead, like the beginning of every single one of my Twitch streams. Nord Mead, like, you know I like a little bit of a tipple, and clearly King Mordred does too. So it is now my turn. Then when Mordred shuffles off of the Mortal Coil, if he does... Actually, I wonder what would happen if one of us actually succeeded on the Immortality quest. I guess that game would go on forever. Anyway, let's go beyond that. So when I have died here, then the throne will be passed over and the game to Mus, who is going to be next. So, what has Midgeman left us with? I'm already seeing that we have quite a few counties. We are of Gotland, so we control the most important province in Scandinavia, of course, right here. Gotland, Öland, that's that one. It's the slim slither of an island. And then Vestisland. So one of the things that happened in Holy Fury is they divided the former 2 provinces in Iceland into 4 provinces, and we control all of them. So that is pretty nice. So we have 4 provinces up in Iceland, we have Gotland, and then we have Öland. So cool. We are, like I said, 34. We're a brilliant strategist with an insane martial, and also a pretty good personal combat, which is going to come in very helpful. We are a light foot leader, which is actually pretty good at the start of the game, because most of the armies, in fact, where are... raiding, marvellous, are going to be light infantry, so that actually works pretty well. That's going to be boosting our primary troops quite a bit. We are legitimized bastards, so clearly he had trouble siring another son. In fact, if we look at the other siblings, they are all female. We're brawny, which is very nice. Extra health, extra personal combat, more martial, more diplomacy. Fantastic. We're scarred, which gives us prestige. Erudite, so we can talk proper in it. Brave, which is actually a really good combination with brawny. Good morale defense, more martial, more combat skill. Honest, okay, good. I like the honest skill. It does mean that we're slightly worse at personal combat, but it's a very small malus compared to the +3 from diplomacy. And we're a drunkard, because of course we are, and that actually reduces our personal combat. So we could have well over 50 if we didn't have that. Do we have a focus? We do not have a focus. Well, I think that our focus is going to be pretty obvious. War, war, we're going to war. And we need an ambition. I think that is going to be to groom an heir. So Mus at the moment is 10. So this is actually going to be relatively easy, touch wood, for us to achieve. So yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and groom an heir there. We could commission a runestone in honour of our glorious father. It's going to cost us 100 gold, but I think it's worth doing. He's achieved quite a few cool things, especially one which I will show you in a moment, which is going to have some pretty big bearings on what we ourselves decide to do. You have decided to commission and raise a grand runestone for future generations to gaze upon. What should be carved onto it? Let us speak of me. No, this is going to be raised in honour of King Midgeman, my dearly departed father. There we go. Then, societies. Now this is where things get interesting. We are already a member of the Wolf Warriors, and if we look at how Midgeman died trying to best Chief Sabas of Tmurtkaten in a legendary duel on the 7th of March 807. So he was trying to do the legend thing. So if we look over here, we can see that the legend track has indeed filled up. So I don't know if that's something we can continue or not. The other thing to notice is that we are a warrior already. So we're already in the Wolf Warriors ourselves. Clearly our father inducted us into it. We've got promoted through fledglings, we are a warrior, and if we actually see this, we have sufficient renown to become a veteran, so we may as well try to do that. One other thing to note is if you have been following the shenanigans of the Gelderland campaign, where we're playing here as the Dutch Vikings, they start out as feudal. We start out as tribal, Gelderland is one of the few areas where the Norse could... I mean, technically they aren't feudal, but they could be. I think actually the only feudal Norseman at the start is in Ostfriesland, but for reasons we wanted to go to Gelderland. So we are tribal, which is like the proper way to do the game, which, like I said, means that we have lots and lots of light infantry rather than heavy infantry. Once we switch to feudal, then heavy infantry will become more of a thing, but it does mean that we can use the prestige retinues. And if you've been watching the Horse Lords aspect of that same campaign, where we're playing up here, then we have had quite a lot of use with the prestige retinue. So the retinue system still works in the same way. This isn't conducive with manpower, but rather just the retinue amounts, and that's going to be tied to the buildings we can build. We can then spend prestige on different retinue types, or we can spend money on this final one, which is 200 heavy infantry for 84 ducats, which actually seems to me to be a pretty good deal. Although actually that uses retinue cap usage 600, so we cannot afford that. I was actually thinking one of the first things, as we did start with over 150 ducats, is maybe I'll switch out and grab these, but I don't think we can. Does this also come with the stat bow? Oh yes, it does. Heavy infantry attack plus 40, heavy infantry morale plus 20, and it looks like Midge has been investing in the light cavalry and the light infantry. So that's going to be light infantry morale plus 10, attack plus 60, defense plus 20, light cavalry attack plus 10, cav defense plus 10. I might switch it out for this. Although actually that light infantry attack is huge. And in fact the archer one's pretty nice too. Light infantry and archers I think actually work pretty well together because they're both considered light infantry. Well, light troops. So good with skirmishing and that type of thing. Okay, so we have Gotland itself. It has been built up a little bit, which is great. We haven't built the market village. Why have we not built the market village? Let's bring in some income that way, please. That's at least going to pay for our costs while we're out raiding. And also the other provinces, I kind of doubt, yeah, they haven't been built up at all. We have a lot of prestige, though. We could start a bunch of things going here, which I think might well be worth doing. So the market village will cost money, but these are all prestige. Again, one of the changes being a tribal. So the war camp is extra light infantry, that's more heavy infantry. So the Housecarl training ground is definitely one of the things that we want to upgrade. Weaponsmith means that we get more retinue, so that's one of the ways of getting retinues. Archers increased. Training grounds, levy size and garrison. Shipbuilder is more galleys, obviously. The hill fort, a plus 100 retinue. So if we've got a hill fort in every single one of our provinces, that's a unit of heavy infantry retinue right there. But I think that we want to continue building up the Housecarl training ground. We'll also go to these guys, and I think I'll probably just do the same thing, frankly. Access to more heavy infantry is never a bad thing. And I believe that my my successors will thank me for this. This is eating quite heavily into my prestige, which is useful early on because it keeps your vassals and minions friendly. We have no vassals though, don't really care about that. The other thing we should note is we are currently an agnatic elective gavelkind, which means that there is an election for who takes the title after us, and we are the only elector, so we kind of have that one sorted. We do have Dreadbanger, Mordredson, oh yeah, other names which I will need to change because I think that Midge thought that these were his kids, not Mordred's kids. So we can change that, that's fine. What was I saying? Oh yeah, government. So in terms of the petty kingdom of Gotland, we're fine. That's not going to be changed out. However, the Jarldom of Iceland, including the chiefdoms of Vetisland, Altisland, Nordland, and Suderland, will all be inherited by Dreadbanger, which is not great. And we definitely want that to be going to Mus. Unfortunately, this doesn't seem to allow me to elect that. So why is it going to him? I guess that's just the Gavelkind aspect. Yeah, probably. Okay, that's fine. So, first thing we need to do is rename these. So Dreadina should really be... This is so good, you can rename characters until they're 10. This should be Musdina. And then the other one should be to Wust. I'll just call you Wust. I think it's W-R-E-S-T. Should probably double check that one. What's a quick way of doing that? Discord, probably. These are names I really should know how to spell. You haven't appeared straight. Oh, I know how to do it. Because he does alerts for when these guys go live. Must. W-O-E-S-T. So there it's... To Wust with a small W. I'm still going to go with Wust. If he wants to change it, he might be able to. Okay, so we have a council that is completely empty at the moment. That might be because councillors can vote? Yes, but as we found in the Horse Lords games, they will always vote against you if the position's not filled. So I think I want to go ahead and fill these. Do we have any good chancellors? No. Do we have any good marshals? Maybe, though he doesn't like us very much. Do we have any good stewards? No. Do we have any good spy masters? No. Any good seers? Maybe. Odder. He's the court physician. But let's go and use the find characters. We're going to search all. We're going to choose my religion. We're going to choose... Actually, I don't care what culture they are. They need to be male to be the Chancellor. And then sort by that. They should... I don't really have enough money to bribe them right now. You know what? We will wait until we've brought back a shipment of cash. And then we'll bribe them. We should also be improving Crown Focus somewhere. Let's say in Gotland. And then we are looting over here. He's already burned that down. Oh yeah, Brooker is worth a lot of money. So we need to be very aware of the Franks coming after us, because West Francia is still pretty strong. Is it still owned by Charlemagne? Charlemagne. Nope! That's King Rignoma, who is king of West Francia, East Francia, Austrasia, Aquitaine, Bavaria, and Burgundy. Definitely not greedy. Also, definitely not Gavelkind. Otherwise he would have lost most of those titles when he inherited the throne. Although actually, that said, he has claims on a bunch of other things. Oh, he has a claim on the Empire of Francia, but I don't think the Empire of Francia exists. No, it doesn't. Speaking of which, do I have any claims? No. Okay. East Anglia and West Francia don't like us. That's fine. Also, the ship's almost full, so I'm going to use my little trick to put all of the money on one boat. I'm going to send that one boat back to... Actually, go back to Holland. It's a bit closer, and then back again. So, next question. What are my goals for this? Well, one of the really nice things that I've noticed is that 4 of the 5 holy sites for Germanic are already owned by Germanics, which is good. Saxony seems to have grown fairly strong and seems to be resisting those around them. Plus the others are all owned by good guys, except for Tholen, which is Zeeland. Okay. So, if we were able to claim some of these titles, then we would be able to reform it. So we don't currently control any of them ourselves. We would need to control Uppland, Nidaros, Sjeland, Paderborn, and Tholen. Tholen would be difficult because we would need to fight against West Francia, who currently can raise 8,000 troops. However, they are fighting against Umayyad, who I believe, yeah, are pretty strong. But that's a fairly risky proposition. So I don't think we're going to do that. In which case we need to absorb the titles of Saxony, Sjeland, and Svitjod. Or just Sjeland and Saxony, or Sjeland and Svitjod. So Sjeland and somebody. So where's the Sjeland title and who controls it? King Triggerev, who is 62 and does have an heir, Solvi, who does not himself have any heirs. He is, however, married. Are there any... Why can't I duel you? We're not rivals. Oh, I guess it's... War Focus? No. I mean, War Focus does allow you to duel people, but I thought they had to be hostile. Yeah, versus rivals and foes. Unless he's also in the Wolf Warriors, which is possible. Don't know. Nope, don't know. But that's not going to help me. Also, oh man, he's a terrible fighter. So what does he need to do? He needs to be a lower rank. There are no declare war options. Ah, right, because I have the levies raised. I thought I was going to sneeze there, but I didn't. I am recording this, by the way, at 5 o'clock in the morning with a raging cold, so you'll forgive me if I sometimes have to kind of pause for a moment and collect myself. Right, so we're sending the ships off, doing that. I think we've got a vague goal. We're going to try and reform the faith if we can. Otherwise, we're just going to get really, really, really rich. Because that's what I personally tend to do best. I'm good at raiding stuff, and generally proving to be a bit of a nuisance. Aha! So we have become a veteran within the Wolf Warriors, so we can now duel, create Shield Maidens. We're a survivor, so we're more resilient to battles. We have a lifetime of war, and we can go berserk. We could actually get the berserker trait. Tempting. We're a Reaver, which means that we are more likely to capture enemies and loot artifacts, which is important, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. We have Warrior Training, which means that we could get a Special Commander feat, which I should give myself in just a moment, because that costs a bit of renown, we can definitely afford it. And we can summon a Lodge Commander if we need commanders. Now we're a Veteran, which also allows me to inspire Warriors, which can refill garrisons, and we can do War Sacrifices, which lets me sacrifice wealth and blood to the Divine Patrons of the Lodge in exchange for prowess in battle. Right, so first things first, I would like to do Warrior Training. It costs me 300 renown, but it gives me Fearsome. Odin would be proud of you, Gunhilda tells me, wiping the sweat from her brow. That was a very not her accent. I'm going to roll with it, though. Reminding me that our sparring match has gone on longer than planned, cocking ahead, the woman concludes, "You're good at this, my friend." Thank you, Gunhilda. That means a lot. So we have become Fearsome, which means we have plus 25% heavy foot troop ability, which is going to be super because we have heavy ability, light ability, and this one is an extra tactic, so we still have one free. So we could still get the heavy ability, or aggressive, or inspiring, or anything like that. And we are also personally present. I am myself not yet a Viking, and I would very, 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 very much like to have that trait. Okay, so we brought the money home. That's great. And then I'll send you back out again. And then we'll just keep an eye on this. Right, I do need to formally nominate a successor. I mean, what I could do is nominate Woost. No, I don't think that would work. I'm going to formally nominate you. I don't seem to get an election here. No changes there. Council. We could change the obligations. We could change the tribal organization. Now bear in mind that we need to hit maximum in order to become feudal. And we don't have any vassals, so... Oh, but that is going to be a council vote. We have no councillors. But as I said, under the Horse Lords, at least, it definitely counted absentee advisors as a no vote. I'm not sure that's true for us, because I've definitely managed to push this stuff through before. Rejected, okay. So I can't do that for another 10 years. So yes, I did need a council. Okay. Lemoyne, no. I don't have another commander here. Why not? Astrid is kind of terrible at fighting, but hey, you can show up, so that's fine. Also, we did send some money home, so I can now afford to bribe people. So I still need to have a Chancellor. Donna. I need to say not a ruler. There we go. Yeah, okay. So all of these guys are saying no. Hraffen says yes, so we're going to send you a gift. And we're going to invite you to the court. And then Marshal. We can have Thomas, Chancellor of Sved. He's 60, so this is going to be possibly a relatively short-term appointment. You know what? No, can't get Gorm. He'd say no. Yeah, let's bring in Thomas. We'll go and invite him to court. And then a steward. Thomas we're already getting, so Rigobert. Those 14. Do we have all those 14? No. So yes, Rigobert would be the best. Send you a gift. Invite you to the court. Spy Master. Now this is an important one. 20-year-old. You already have a positive opinion. Gluttonous, cruel, shrewd. No negatives. So we'll send you a gift. We'll invite you to the court. In fact, I maybe should have waited on you until we got a Chancellor, because that would have meant we would have a higher diplomacy skill, and therefore the bribes would be more effective, I believe. And then finally, Reculfa, Seer of Narik, which is an 18. You're a 14. So yes. Send gift. And invite to court. Good. So that should be the councillors sorted. We'll keep an eye on the army over here because we're going to be making quite a lot of money. So that was Brun, who is the intrigue guy. So we're going to give you Councillor, Spy Master, continue. And I think to keep you sweet, you are definitely getting an honorary title. I'm going to make you the law speaker. You're going to speak the law, and if anyone speaks out against you, then we'll deal with it. In memory of Midgeman, the runestone you commissioned has been finished and raised on the spot you chose for it. You examine the runes. This stone was raised by Mordred in memory of Midgeman, his father and unknown's son, because there's a created character who doesn't have a father. He was a caring father and husband and lived a good life, ever will stand to this a memorial. You leave the stone content in the knowledge that many centuries from now, when its paint has long since faded, scholars will be studying these rune carvings in an effort to glean the wisdom of their words. So we gain 200 prestige, we'll gain 100 piety, and I gain the raised runestone thing for 2 years, which gives more piety, diplomacy, and also general opinion, which is great. Because that's also going to mean that these guys are going to be more favourable, and hopefully vote for me in all the things. Right, so one of the things which is important, especially as I mentioned, we have special abilities because we are a Reaver, and that is we steal more stuff. The purpose of this campaign, let me just bring up the rules list that I was sent. The entire goal of this campaign is a treasure hunt. We want to end the game with at least 25 items. They must include a quality 4 magnum opus, a quality 5 religious item, a religious item of quality 4 from... a religious item of 4 different faiths of any quality, 5 crowns from other kings, a quality 3 weapon and armor combo, same background colour, this is way more advanced stuff than I've ever seen, a weapon of each type, an axe, a sword, a lance, a scimitar, a mace and a bow, any quality, and a quality 3 or above composed book. Ingredients do not count. So, as I kind of suggested there, I'm not the best person when it comes to filling up a treasury. Although it looks like Midge has already made a start on that. I can at least loot loads of places and hopefully we can steal something. So Hoffen was the Councillor, or the Chancellor. So we're going to make you the Chancellor, okay. And you are also going to have an honorary title. Now, do we want to give you the Herdman title, or do we want to save that for Commanders? I feel like once we're a Viking, the Commanders will be pretty on side anyway. Okay, this was the learned one, so you are going to be the chaplain. And you are the fighter Point Councillor, Marshal. And that just leaves you, who are to be the Steward. Okay. Right, so now we have all of our council positions filled. We have 2 Glory Hounds and 3 Pragmatists. Not Loyalists, not yet. They will be once we have a longer reign. In fact, all of them have a -22 opinion from a long reign. So the very fact that they are this positive bodes well. Already, having them this positive is fantastic. So I would like you to be training troops. I'm going to assume that Gotland gives me the most. Oh yeah, it's like 2,000 already. Hell, these are some big armies. So yeah, you are going to train troops for me in Gotland. The Steward. I could have you building my legend, but that's going to spawn warriors who are going to want to go on fights, and if I don't get them in fights, then they're going to be upset, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to leave you administering the realm. The Spy Master I'm going to leave scheming for the moment, in case anyone tries to murder me. And then the Seer... is there anywhere we need to convert? Nope, everything's already converted. So we're just going to leave you doing... hunting the apostates and getting me that piety. And then finally the Chancellor is currently performing statecraft, which is irrelevant to my interests. So I think you... we could try and fabricate a claim. Now Sieland is quite big, so we don't want to be chewing off more than we can deal with. Especially as he has a standing army of 3,000. Although my standing army is actually bigger. But being a tribal, he can call in his vassals, which will definitely outnumber us. In fact, we can see just how many they have. Potential ally troops, 6,700. Yeah, that's a problem. And unfortunately, that's not factored into this 3,000. So I think we need to wait until he passes on, then hopefully his son is not going to be quite as effective at raising troops, and maybe this whole place is just going to collapse under a Gavelkind. We never know. So, yeah, he has 2 sons, so he's going to have Gavelkind issues. Else we could go after Svitjod, which has a standing army of 1,000 with 5,000 vassals. My personal army is going to be pretty big, but we have no vassals to raise. And we can't raise any duchies. We can't create any duchies. They would have to be counties because we are not a king. So I think for the moment we're just going to keep on raiding. Raiding. Money, money, money. I'd really like to increase the speed, but I really can't afford to lose these guys. Actually, one other thing I could do, and this would be a very good plan, is to redo that. Sort by soldiering ability. Then actually start hiring a couple of the martial skill people. In fact, I should... No. He's already in the court. Doug, 18 marshal. He's only 18. Oh, and he's a direct leader. So I would like to send you a gift. 52. See, this is why you want to wait until you have a chancellor before you start bribing people. And then I want to invite you to the court, so that's going to be 1 marshal, and we can have a second. He's already 1, so we'd have Seymour, who's another 15, so we'll send you a gift. And then invite you to the court. Okay, good. Do we have any missions? We have no missions, that's fine. Do we have a bloodline? No. The Siege of Dam is finished. And on that note, we will need to end this episode. So, thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying this, then be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get notifications when I launch more of this stuff in the future. If you've really enjoyed this, then do consider checking out my Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/MordredViking. I do also have a Discord, which is where I hang out. It's where the community hangs out. They're a very cool bunch. So if you want to talk to us about any of the series that are going on here, or just want to hang out with people with similar interests, then you can find a link to that in the description below. I also Twitch stream very regularly, more often than I just do these dedicated YouTube series, and you can find that at twitch.tv/MordredViking, frankly, pretty much any evening. I tend to start streaming at about 5 PM GMT and finish about 2 AM on most nights. But otherwise, you can find a schedule posted on the Discord. That's it for me for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys... Oh, wait, no. One more thing. One more thing. Don't go away. If you haven't subscribed yet, then please do. I'm trying really hard to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. and it would make my year if I could reach that. So seriously, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. See you next time. Bye!